everybody. Welcome to the 6th annual New Hampshire High School Hockey Invitational. Here in Hooksett, New Hampshire, we are at the Tri-Town Ice Arena. You are watching live on Nashua ETV. Jason Roby calling all of the action for you. My partner in crime, Tom King, fast approaching from the New Hampshire Decathlon Heptathlon in Nashua, should be here at the conclusion or close to the conclusion of the first period. Our executive producer here tonight for Nashua ETV is DJ PDP Johnson. The man on the moving pictures is Tim Diesel O'Neill. This is, as we mentioned, the 6th annual high school Girls Hockey Invitational. Game 1 featuring Team Flanagan versus Team King, each of the teams named after Olympic gold medalists from right here in the state of New Hampshire. Team King is, of course, represented by Katie King, 1998 Olympic gold medalist. She's from Salem, New Hampshire, and Team Flanagan will be wearing white tonight in our first game. She was on the 2018 Olympic gold medalist from Hudson, New Hampshire. You can see the teams out there representing Team Flanagan and Team King, getting ready for their team photo before we play. All of the girls playing in the first game tonight are from the class of 2027 and 2028. The nightcap later this evening, approximately 7 o'clock or so, will be Team Dunn versus Team Mounsey, and those will be teams represented by the class of 2025 and 2026. John Good has set this game up for us, and as we mentioned, in year 6 here, he has done a fantastic job of putting some of the best talent in the state of New Hampshire together. It features the very best high school girl hockey players that call New Hampshire home. That's one of the criteria. You have to live in the state of New Hampshire to be eligible for this game. They can play prep school, they can play public school, they can play club or academy, as long as they call New Hampshire home. Of the 35 girls you're going to see tonight in our first game, the freshman sophomore game, there are 24 girls who play prep school, 9 who play public school, and 3 who play academy and club. And we'll talk to the head coach of the Lebanon-Stevens-Kearsarge Tri-Op. That'll be Coach Dan McGee, and we'll talk about the challenges of playing high school hockey here in the state of New Hampshire when it comes to juniors and so forth at the end of the first period. As we mentioned, there are no penalties in this game where you will play shorthanded. They have implemented the jailbreak penalty, where you will get a free run and everybody gives chase from the red line. So it's an exciting part of the game here tonight. So any penalties result in a jailbreak breakaway at net. You can hear the voice behind me on the intercom. Peter Mundy from Hockey East and from the Boston Marathon is providing the public address announcing here tonight from the Tri-Town Ice Arena here in Hooksett, New Hampshire, along the banks of the Merrimack River. We are about ready to drop the puck. Face-off taken there and won by Team Flanagan. They'll be in the defensive zone. And a good forecheck there, as putting the pressure on was Team King to try and keep the ball in the zone, wrapped around the boards. And Team Flanagan will try to clear the zone. Coming up the left side against the boards. Good skating there is number 13. It's the one number not on the roster, so there you go. Back the other way comes Team King in red in the neutral zone. It is broken up, battled for there, and it'll be taken by Team King, and they will flip the script and come up the near side ice. Battled for against the boards. That was LeBreton, cleared it in. Defended nicely there. Wheeling and dealing behind her own net for Team Flanagan. Wrapped around. Team King keeps the zone. This little poke check there keeps the puck alive in the offensive zone for Team King. Zone is cleared and they will have to regroup. Play is now on sides, dumped in. There'll be a partial change for Team King. Again, Team King in the red. We have a 2-on-2 situation here. Gathered and nearly stolen, but Team King gets possession. That was Fallon trying to make something happen down the near boards. There's Roy down the far side. They get tied up. Shot on net, near post. And a good look there, a little wrist shot taken by Kylie Livingstone was turned away at the doorstep. Nice save near post, nice job in front, and that one went 5-hole. We have a goal. And it took an interesting bounce, was cleared in front, no one got on the body, and it was just poked in between the wickets there. Team Flanagan will go up 1-0. Team King getting the win on the face-off there, and they'll force the issue. And just like that, we are locked up at 1 apiece. 12:59 to go in the period. So both teams kind of feeling it out here is kind of an uncontested goals on both sides of the ice. Tied up at 1, 12:58 to go on the clock. Nice skating there, near side, cleared. Top of the blue line. Nice kick save out to the right. That was Katie Millett on the wrister on the left point. Puck is cleared. Team King will regroup. Millett, the aforementioned, does battle down on the far boards. Kelsey Corshane was providing the pressure, and as a result, Team Flanagan keeps possession in the zone. Nice job of wheeling and dealing by Jenkins. Puck battled for there. Team King clears the zone, coming down. Nelson clears it, dumps it in the zone. Gathered by Team Flanagan. They'll try to reverse it. A little too much mustard on that hot dog. And back the other way it comes. Team King forcing the issue. Down the far side, there'll be a battle in the corner. It's tied up. Losing her edge and falling down there was Team King. Keeping the zone, good control, nice puck sharing by Team King. Shot goes wide. Battled for in the far right corner. Wrapped around the boards. It's taken there by McNelly. She lost it. And now a chance to force the issue. They'll have to reset.
Number 87, Kylie Livingstone, and number 8, Tar. Time Team Flanagan goal, 150. Team King goal, scored number 10, Brooke Fallon. Assistant number 11, Cora.
Brooke Fallon scored the Team King goal. Didn't quite get the goal for Team Flanagan. We'll try to get that from our team of statisticians down below on ice level. Puck battled for behind the net. Cleared out beyond the face-off circle. Back the other way comes Team Flanagan. Losing the handle there. Able to regroup and regather. Like Kavanaugh. And a goal. So 2-1 as putting the biscuit in the basket was Team Flanagan. .10:24 to go in the first period. And right now being joined by my partner in crime, Tom King. Tom, welcome from Nashua.
Hello, Jason Roby.
How was it?
I ran a 50-minute 40.
I was going to say, were you competing today? And if so?
You know what? I'll tell you what. The way I feel right now, it feels like it. That sun was hot.
A little bit different here in the friendly confines of the Tri-Town Ice Arena.
This is actually welcoming, believe me.
Yeah.
You know, that's for sure.
We have Team King in red, Team Flanagan in white. Team Flanagan up 2-1, 9:47 to go here in the first frame. First of two games that we'll see tonight. This one.
Number 12, Liza Demain, assistant number 87.
And that was number 12 on the goal, Liza Demain. Her sister Testimane we saw play here. She plays for BU, I believe, Tom, and also a member of Team USA, if I'm not mistaken. So runs in the family. Testimane scoring a goal for Team Flanagan.
This game is a good introduction for us here on ETV because next year there will be girls ice hockey in Nashua.
That's right.
As the Nashua Sauhegan Co-op, and that will be at Conway Arena. That will be their home rink. So it's going to be
stick save there, turned away at the doorstep, and good read on the puck for the save.
Of course, we know that the boys are going to co-op in hockey, and at the introductory meeting of the boys co-op, Lisa Jing, oh, there we go with a breakaway here, possibly. Nope. Good job to get back on defense.
That was
and we may get a trip.
Kustens.
No tripping call. I thought there might be one there.
Yeah, we do have the breakaway, the jailbreak that we love so much.
Oh, I love
Tom.
that.
Yep.
But Lisa Jinger said there will be a lot of boy-girl doubleheaders, like 3 boy-girl doubleheaders next year.
That's good stuff, Tom. We'll be talking to the head coach for the Lebanon Stevens Kearsarge Tri-op. I believe it's going to be a co-op next year at the end of the first period. Dan McGee, nice backhand and a save there in net. And a nice job. And I'm not sure if it's 35 or 31, Tom, if you can see it on your side, the goalie. It's either Bayer or Casson.
Well, those numbers are tough because they're dark on dark.
I believe it's 31. I believe it's Casson.
It is 31.
It is 31. There we go.
Yep.
But she's been challenged early and often. She's answered the last couple.
Key for any goaltender at this level is the rebounds, Jason.
Yep. It's been a relatively clean first period thus far. Deflected in front. Another nice pad save and another save there, and it went in off the right blocker, I believe. And so quickly 3-1 as a.
And the reason
There's your rebound, Tom.
There's your
It's
rebound.
exactly
2
what
of
you
them.
talked
There were
about.
2 of them right there.
And so very quickly it turns into a 3-1 advantage for Team Flanagan. And the rebound, no one was there for Team King to clear that zone, and it was easy pickings.
That's typical of us Kings. There's nobody there. There's never anybody there.
Is that about where the similarities end, Tom? She's got a gold medal. You have.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
Puck wrapped around the boards on the far side.
But does she have a bobblehead? That's what I want to know.
I bet she does. I bet she does.
Probably does.
That was Ava Souza on that goal. And Ava Souza, coincidentally, will be playing in both games tonight. It was an injury on our nightcap. One of the players won't be able to go in the nightcap, so Souza will be playing both games tonight. So
wow.
I believe that to be the case.
They'll have to limit her ice time a little bit, though. She'll be
I would think so, yeah.
She'll be exhausted for a second game. I mean,
she'll be joining her sister Ella Souza.
There you go.
Yep. Puck kept in the zone by Team King. Nice fill late, flying down the left side. Keeps it in the zone.
Yeah, that's the shot right there. You needed something. They had space to shoot from the blue line. Didn't get a lot on it, but still, if a rebound came back out, they would have been able to get a goal. You got to put the puck on the net, and that was, I think, since I've arrived, that's the first time I've seen him do it.
Well, River Grady, the goaltender, did a nice job there. She plays for Williston Northampton. She kicked it out to the right.
Nobody
not right
was
in
there.
front of the goal, right.
Right, and the thing is it's tough to see a shot from the point. So that's not easy. And turnovers will kill you right here. Let's see. No.
So a turnover proves to not be costly for Team Flanagan. Could have been. Another turnover in front of the net, and rebound taken, a screen in front, and it appeared that Grady couldn't see it, but she ends up in her glove somehow. So
that's all due to the work in the corners. They get that back in the corner, and there's a lot of work in there, and they get the puck out or force it out, and then someone was able to do something with it right there. Look at that. See, it all goes back to that play in the corner, and that's how they retain possession.
Well, that was a face-off win from the left circle from Team King, and just like a hot knife through butter right on the doorstep, stonewalled by Grady. Back up to the point it comes. Wrist shot deflected. Goes to the far boards, tied up there. 2-on-1 battle, trying to clear the zone, and Team Flanagan able to do so. Down the other side, now the left side comes Kylie Livingstone. Shot.
Nice glove save.
And a save. So both goalies been peppered early here. Still the 3-1 advantage for Team Flanagan. 4:45 to go in the first period here from the Tri-Town Ice Arena in Hooksett, New Hampshire. Jason Roby, Tom King calling all the action for you. DJ PDP Johnson is our executive producer. Tim Diesel O'Neill, the man on the moving pictures. I want to thank you all for joining us here on Nashua ETV. And a 3-on-2 quickly developing here for Team King. Tried to take it right through the defense. They closed it down, and back the other way comes Team Flanagan. Good skating down the left side. That appears to be Stella Spencer. She puts the brakes on, reverses course, tied up there, and Team King tries to clear the zone, cannot, spilled, and now they do. And again, a good little poke check there by Spencer to tie things up in the neutral zone. Kicked out to the right side. Battled for in the corner. That was Souza. Wrapped it around, coming away with it. Team King. They're able to keep the zone. Team Flanagan still applying pressure. On the backhand, comes back to the point. Didn't have the angle there, but put it on net anyway. You never know.
This is an interesting play here. They could have gotten a breakaway out of that. They do get possession right here. Team King.
Good skill there shown by Anderson. And now a chance for a breakaway. Good transition defense by Team King. And they finally clear the zone. Team Flanagan now will reset the
smart
scene.
Play by Casson. It was a slow puck, and she just poked it away from everybody.
The wrister off the right inside part of the skate, diving in front of the net.
That's a great
was
save.
Grady.
Because there was an open net.
Another save by Grady, kicked out to the right, poked into the back of the net. They'll chase it to the near side. And Team Flanagan, something going here, 2-on-2 opportunity. Fans on the shot. Quickly taken, and back the other way comes Custance, Audra. And they'll dump it in and get a change here. Team Flanagan senses that change and was going to force the action down the near side. They'll regroup. Good stick handling here through center ice. Tried to dump it in, but couldn't find a Team Flanagan stick.
Smart
Passed
play.
to herself.
Oh, man. Smart play, and it goes in. Look at the stick handling that she did, and a smart play to bank it off the board, almost like a pool shot. Banks it right off the board so she can get the deflection ahead of the defender.
Yeah.
And just put it right in with that speed.
That's Kaylee Norton out of Austin Prep. She calls Pelham High School. And Tim O'Neill with a fist in the air. That's where you went, Tim? Look
Austin
at that.
Prep.
So a pretty goal there, almost like a self-pass, and just
That's
stuff you work on when you're by yourself, right, Tom?
Yep, it was a self-pass. No doubt about it.
So That goal will put Team King within 1. And again, they're on the doorstep, putting the pressure on Team Flanagan. Staying on the backhand.
Haley Norton. Assistant number 6, Catherine Mosley. Time to go, 13-10.
1:10 to go here in the first period. 3-2, lots of action from the freshman-sophomore game.
A lot of goals in one period. I don't know. Can't remember when we've had that many in the first period, Jason.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Tom. The skill set
Look
of
at
these
this,
young
look at
ladies,
this, look at this.
And as is evidenced right there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
on the doorstep one more time, Grady up for the challenge. But the skill set from these young ladies, each of the 6 years that we've been here, it has just improved each and every year.
No
you
doubt
can see
about
the
it.
sport growing leaps and bounds,
Hey,
and we'll talk about that in the first intermission.
And you know what? We see the freshman-sophomore game, which we have here, and we say, wow, look at the skill set and the speed. And then we
And we see
get
the
to
junior-senior
then we
game.
get to the next one.
That's a
And
different.
it's
That's a
different level.
Yeah. But just the stick handling alone.
Oh, I mean, that play, that goal was just evidence of it. It's one of the prettier goals in the 6 years we've been doing this game that I see it.
Team King keeps the zone, forcing the issue, tied up in the far corner, chasing after it.
Oh, turn around, wanted to take the wrist shot, just had it poked away.
On the backhand now, forcing the issue, near post, cycling around. And that's going to do it. Didn't get a shot off. That was Cora Davidson. We'll head to the first intermission. Our score is Team King 2,
And
Team Flanagan 3. There it is. So we have a interview forthcoming here for you. We're going to talk to Dan McGee. He is the head coach of Lebanon Stevens Kearsarge. His daughter Julia McGee is playing in this game for Team Flanagan on the white team.
Covered some of the Lebanon games against Bishop Girton and Sauhegan.
Yeah, and we are currently being joined here by the head man of Lebanon Stevens Kearsarge, Dan McGee. Coach, thank you so much for joining us here on Nashua ETV. And your thoughts of the first period of this game?
You're the last one to do so. So bit early, bit often.
What a great event. Great to have the best players all New Hampshire, perhaps the public schools here.
Just not a good side.
It's pretty exciting. And then I think the score on the level of play is pretty reflective of the talent out there, 3-2.
Tom King and I, my broadcast partner on the far side over there, we were talking about the skill level in the 6 years that we've been calling this game, and that first period alone, some of the best skill that we have seen here from the younger version of this game in the 6 years that we've done it. Can you talk to how the skill level has improved so much in the 5 or 6 years that we've been here?
Yeah, I think what's really neat is similar to the boys or men's game, you have female athletes who are willing to take people on. You know, they're willing to be really creative in space. Creative in tight spots, and there's that lack of fear and the ability to just say, I've got the skill level and the confidence to make a play rather than defer and throw it. You know, it's
Right.
like possession is such a huge part of the game now, and these players demonstrate it. But I think, there's a commitment to skills off the ice with a lot of these girls too. They're shooting, they're passing, playing in the street. They're staying in great shape, and this has become like a serious sport for many of these kids.
Dan, how serious is the sport at the high school level, at the NHGHA level? I mean, Hanover has dominated it over the years, and that's up near that's near and dear to your area, right? So that's quite a rivalry there. But Bishop Girton's had a couple of years where they've been good. They had. They had a couple of talented players that took them to a title a couple of years ago, and this year they didn't even make the tournament. And when that barometer goes down that far, I worry about the talent level that's coming in statewide for the sport in the level of girls hockey. Now Nashua will have a co-op.
Right.
With their co-op and with Southampton, they'll have some Nashua kids able to play. What are your thoughts on all that?
If I had the full answer, I would I would feel a lot better about my team and my program over the years. But it's been an interesting. It's a numbers game clearly for
Right.
all these schools. You're seeing the advent and the evolution of co-ops, so cooperative programs in schools coming together. So Nashua is a good example. South and North joining with Souhegan. This coming year, we, of course, in Lebanon, we've had a 3-team co-op. And even in those scenarios, it doesn't always work out. Like
Right.
my team this year, we had no players from Stevens or Kearsarge. So it was
Wow.
just a Lebanon
Just
team.
a Lebanon team. Wow.
And so you end up wondering, where are some of these kids, and
Right.
how did think of Pinkerton a couple of years ago too, right? They were right there, had one of the best.
Oh, they had a great goalie
Season,
the
yeah.
goalie that they had, right? I saw her making 80 saves in a game.
And this year they struggled, and it's just I think also if you do lose a couple players to either a club program or to a private school,
Right.
it hurts. There's just not enough depth quite
Right.
yet, even in boys public high school. So it's
Right,
girls
exactly.
and boys. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Well, Bishop Girton's a perfect example. They had, they've had great teams, good teams, and this year they just ran out of players.
Right. Yep.
That's what happens. You run out of players, and you look. I know a lot of hockey coaches look down the road. They look
Yeah.
in the future a lot more. So I think than any other sport, because what do you have coming in? You worry about that.
Right.
And that's the one thing you have to monitor.
It's very true, and a lot of the club programs, especially up where we are, they have many towns they're pulling from.
Right.
And so it doesn't always mean your Hanover club program, the Hanover Wild, that all those kids are going to Hanover. Some go to Lebanon, some might go to Hartford, which is across the river.
Sure, exactly.
So even when coaches try to get involved at the youth levels, it can be challenging for
Yep.
them to steer them into their programs.
Coach, I got to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Nice move at the doorstep, goes by the boards. Being a high school coach and for the NHGHA, what do you say to your kids, or are you part of that conversation when it comes to, look, should you play for your high school team or should you play juniors? So what is the argument for or against, or what kind of a position do you play in that it is such a pivotal role? Because in this game, for example, there's 33 girls playing in the junior-senior game, for example. 19 of them play prep school.
Right. Yep.
So what kind of a role do you as a head coach in the NHGHA play in that, and do you have a voice when it comes to that?
It's an individual voice, I guess I would say. I don't know that I have like a loud voice in the state. Nice goal there.
on the backhand
Absolutely.
and far post.
The white team is their net presence is great. I don't know that there's like a loud sort of regional voice about it. It's more within your program. Can you talk to the players that are coming through and try to show them the opportunity, especially for the first couple years? There's an opportunity for you to come in, get acclimated to playing against 17, 18, 19-year-olds as a younger player, and then maybe prep or a club full-time is the right decision. But the way I look at it is it has to make sense academically, socially, and athletically.
Sure.
And if you are only going to prep school for hockey, you better be really, really good.
Right.
Like really taught. You should be one of the best 3 players on this ice, and every night, not just like tonight.
Sure.
So yeah, I had a daughter who went to Kimball Union Academy. She loved it and had a great time there. And then I've got my sophomores out here playing, and she loves Lebanon. And my son did all 4 years at Lebanon and also did a year with the AAA Avalanche, and then went to Hotchkiss for a post-grad year. So, I think every kid is unique.
Yeah.
Every situation's unique, and they need to. Coaches right now have, I guess, this sort of burden, but also opportunity to try and guide a kid into maybe the right fit, knowing what they know about them socially, academically, and athletically. But it's not easy.
Dan, what do you have coming in from the co-op this year? Do you have kids from Stevens and Kearsarge this time, or do you not know yet?
So I do know we mixed up the co-op a little. So we dropped Stevens and we picked up Mascoma, which that now mimics the boys program too.
Right.
So
okay.
the boys, at Lebanon have Lebanon's Mascoma. Actually, I'm sorry, they still have Stevens. We picked up Mascoma, and we
Right.
still have Kearsarge.
Right.
So we do not have any players from Kearsarge this coming year. There is a little bit of a push on the youth program down there, which is great, and I'm going to try and help out where I can.
Yep.
And then we get one very good player who played on the boys team. She is jumping over because we have the co-op with Mascoma now. She's able to play for us, so that'll help us tremendously.
Sure.
To get that player. And we have a couple 8th graders stepping up that are good hockey players, so we're really excited about that. But I don't know. The long term, even those schools they don't have big youth programs local to them. They have to travel just to play club hockey.
Right.
And so we'll see. Lebanon has to be the epicenter of getting the population excited to play, for sure.
It seemed as though girls high school hockey, the NHGHA program, was growing, and then all of a sudden the brakes got put on.
Yeah.
And why is that, in your opinion?
The only thing I can say, I think it's prep. It really is. And, game in and game out in prep, the competition is really fierce. The games are tight. They're hard fought. If you are a really competitive player, it's a great place for you to be, but it's expensive. You might be away from home.
Sure.
The academics may not work for you. Social might be different, but the game is really impressive. So I think that's partly why. And it ends up with some of these programs where they did have really good players and kids left junior or senior year to go to a private school.
Yep.
Speaking of impressive, nice job by Team King putting the pressure on, up for the challenge. The goaltender for Team Flanagan. It is 4-2, 9:23 to go here in the second quarter. We're talking to the head coach of Lebanon Mascoma Kearsarge, Dan McGee. And Coach, I want to thank you for joining us here once again. Your impression on the co-op itself. It's not pure. I mean, because obviously these types of things where you combine high schools, that didn't exist years ago, especially when Tom was in high school, many moons ago.
There weren't high schools where Tom was at that age.
Stone tablets and so forth.
Right, exactly.
But a lot of moving parts when you talk about the co-op. In your case, 3 schools, 3 administrations, 3 athletic directors, and obviously there's a lead in charge there, but everybody kind of has their say, their input. What's that dynamic like for you as the head coach of 3 schools?
Yeah, I rely on my athletic director a lot, who does a great job. And Ben Davis, he came over from Hanover, so they don't have co-ops at Hanover. They're very fortunate to, on multi-sport, be able to field really competitive teams from their community. But most of us around New Hampshire are trying to figure out this math, trying to figure out where can we get enough players to field a team and then have it be competitive, not just bodies, but people that are hockey players that want to have the love of the game, and maybe they wouldn't have had a place to play otherwise, which is a great part of the co-op. They can stay at their own high school, which is also great. It's not a tuition situation or anything like that.
Right.
So I applaud the NHGHA for allowing co-ops, and I think they just need to continue to be really flexible with them, because we just talked about like Pinkerton and Bishop Gurdon and so many schools, and if something blows up in a year or in an 18-month period, like the flexibility to add co-ops quickly so that you can sustain a program is really important.
There's a process that you have to go through. There's meetings and then more meetings and then committee meetings, and then you got to go before the throne and ask. And
and you've got to get waivers sometimes because of the enrollment, the combined enrollment. That's on the boys' side. Here's an example of what you have to deal with. Okay, Sauhegan, a proud boys program that won championships at Division III. Then they co-op with Nashua North for several years, and now they're down to maybe a couple of players.
Yeah.
They can't get anyone to co-op with them because that means even though there may be only one player from the school, that entire enrollment is in the equation with the co-op. Right. And that vaults you up to Division I if you're in Division II.
Yep.
In the middle of a cycle. You can't petition until the end of the cycle.
Yeah,
so all those little nitty-gritty things have to be figured out.
Very true. With the girls, we just have the one tier, which helpful with
Right,
that.
exactly, right.
So
You
it
don't have
doesn't
to
blow
worry
you.
about that,
Right, it
right.
doesn't blow you up out of
Right.
a division. But
Exactly, right.
I totally understand that. And
Oh,
one
what a
timer!
sit.
And she got it.
Biscuit basket.
No, it's in the back. All right.
Goal.
What a
She
great
got it.
pass. Great goal.
I thought when she made the diving save, she got it, but she just missed it.
I thought so too.
Had to one time it there. Scores now 4-3. So again, great skill set here from
Yeah,
both
so
of
good.
these teams as we're seeing some good stuff, and we'll get a change in both nets as two new goaltenders will take the ice. Looks like Jordan Plummer for Team Flanagan. I believe that's Maddie Byer in for Team King on the far side. Joined here by Coach Dan McGee, and we're talking hockey, talking NHGHA hockey, juniors hockey, all the moving parts involved here in navigating the waters for girls high school hockey. And Coach, in your opinion, obviously it's. I think we're going to get our first breakaway here.
Jailbreak.
Jailbreak time coming. But Coach, in your opinion, is obviously, and you kind of made note of the fact that anytime you can give kids an opportunity to be active in a sport, it's a great thing. And so the co-ops that exist will give kids that might not have had an opportunity to play elsewhere an opportunity. Is this something that you see surviving in terms of the co-op?
I think so. I don't know that we have a choice. And yeah, I'm definitely on the side of. Let's see how this goes.
It's going to be a straight breakaway.
Oh, what
Goodness.
a move! Brilliant goal there by Brooke Fallon. And she's got a couple here on the night.
Straight breakaway. The jailbreak, they couldn't catch up to her.
She went to the
She got
backhand,
right in.
came back to the forehand, and put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah.
And don't look now, Tom. We are locked
We're
up.
locked up at 4.
6:38 to go
Okay,
here in the period.
Curious comment. They didn't make new ice for this period.
No, they're getting right to it. And,
Yeah,
and they didn't have a long intermission. They started a few minutes late, Tom. They were having an issue with the scoreboard. So I don't know if they'll make fresh ice between 2 and 3. Or
I'm wondering, yeah. What do you think about that, Coach? No fresh ice. How does the ice look to you?
Zamboni cost extra.
Yeah, I understand the logistics of ice hockey, and if they're going to get to play and they don't do the ice, it's okay. We can deal with it.
Right.
All these kids have dealt with worse. Trust me.
I'm just curious. This should be the ice looks fine to me, but
Yeah, I think it's hanging in there.
Yeah.
But
Last-
hopefully they'll do a fresh sheet for the third.
Last
Very
question
good.
from me, Coach. I know you're loving watching your daughter play out here and watching these teams go back and forth. John Good, nice enough to put this event on. We're 6 years strong running now, and your impression on just the whole operation that happens on a night like tonight, where you know they have the hockey night in Boston. They do some things around the region that kind of showcase the talents of these young ladies, but someone like John Good putting this together, what has it meant for girls hockey here in the state of New Hampshire?
For the state, it's just amazing. I mean, these girls, it's also great for all of us as parents and spectators and people interested in the game, because you get to see this talent. You know, you sometimes can't tell all the New Hampshire kids when you're looking at a prep school roster. Certainly when you're at a NHGHA game, you know they're all New Hampshire kids, but then it's a little dilutive, right? And so to get everybody together all on one surface and playing, and then they've done just a really nice job of making a great event. Like, bring young players to the game, have a silent auction, announce the players, give them cool uniforms. You know, hopefully it's getting these kids even more excited about hockey in their future, and then the younger players who showed up, they're getting really excited for their turn 4, 5, 6 years from now. So thank you to John and all the people responsible for putting this together for these kids.
Dan, the last question for me will be, we talk about the club and the prep and the high school. What do you see some of these high school kids, the kids that are playing high school hockey now, the opportunities for them to play in college? What's that like at this point?
I was glad my middle daughter chose soccer. How's that? There just aren't as many opportunities, really. You know, I mean, it's kind of like you want some of these schools to to bring girls hockey in and give them an opportunity. Even if you don't bring in men's hockey, it's okay. Like, the girls game is so good right now. There are schools out there that could take a chance and bring girls hockey in and still be, kind of complicit with Title IX and everything they've got to do there.
Right.
It's hard. I don't think it's as hard, though, as the boys, which we all know is ridiculous at this point.
Sure.
So, these kids do have an opportunity to, at an age-eligible or age-appropriate, I guess, time, go to college still as young ladies, not as maybe 22 or 23-year-olds. But it's a hard road, and I think they all should be like, make sure you're playing for the love of the game and for meeting, cool people along the way and spending time with your families, and
Right.
And scholarships are almost impossible. So it's more like, can you keep playing because you love it? That's the key.
In the nightcap tonight, we have 7 girls that are D1 commits that we're going to be seeing, 5 Division III commits. But I think that speaks, Tom, to the level of and where this is going. I mean, look no further than there's all 4 of these teams here tonight are named after gold medalist Olympians, and I think the game is only getting better. And Coach, want to thank you for all you do for the sport of high school hockey and contributing to what must be a difficult thing with the co-ops and the tri-ops and the whole thing. It's impressive to see you do it. There are a lot of moving parts, but we want to thank you for doing what you do for girls high school hockey, and we thank you for joining us here tonight on Nashua ETV.
Yeah, thank you all for the opportunity to talk, and hopefully the listeners weren't too distracted from the great game with me chattering on. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. We'll see you
Thanks, Dan.
during the
Appreciate it.
season.
Thank
See
you, Tom.
next season.
Appreciate it.
All right, that is Dan McGee, the head coach of the Lebanon Mascoma Kearsarge team, and as he mentioned, only Lebanon kids on the team this year, Tom, and that is a difficult thing as 2 players hit the ice, no call.
I remember when there were only Lebanon kids on the team, and there was
Right.
no call.
Goal there, Biscuit in the
Look at
basket.
that. And they take the lead. They've climbed all the way back to take the lead.
So 5-4 Team King storming back and on the doorstep just put it in the back of the net. It is now 5-4, 1:55 to go here in the second period. And Tom, we talked about all of the players involved in tonight's game. Liza DeMaine and Brooke Fallon, Liza at St. Paul's, Brooke at Cushing Academy. They've been selected to attend the USA Hockey National Camp this summer, and those girls are chosen from the players that were named USA Hockey New England District All-Stars. And so Brooke and Liza were chosen from a group that included, in addition to Iris Lamoureux, Allegra Jenkins, Paisley Meyer, Catherine Mosley, Katie Millette, Audra Custance, Brooke Fallon, Ava Sousa, and there's Brooke Fallon on cue, shoving the goal in there.
Well, you know
Rose
what that-
Chartier and Jordan Plummer and Liza DeMaine, all of those girls, Tom, named USA Hockey New England All-District All-Stars, and from that group, Liza and Brooke will go on to attend USA Hockey National Camp this summer.
Right, you know what that's the first step for, right?
Yeah,
They get noticed there. They're on the U.S. Olympic radar.
that's it.
That's exactly what that's all about.
It's good stuff. Samantha Anderson and Brooke Nelson were named NHGHA First Team All-State, and Julia McGee and Catherine Mosley were named NHGHA Second Team All-State. In addition, Catherine Mosley was a member of the Hanover High School State Championship team that we talked about earlier here this evening. 5-4, 56.3 seconds to go here in the second frame. Jason Roby, Tom King calling all the action for you. Face-off taken there in the zone, won by Team Flanagan. Team King quickly flips the script. They got a 3-on-2 with a trailer defensively. Checked off the puck there, and a nice job by number 17. That was Allegra Jenkins. Keeping the puck now in the zone is Team King. Good stick handling down in front of us. Reversing field, or ice I should say, was number 7, LeBreton. Wrapped around the boards and able to keep the zone. Quick wrister. Hits off the shin guard. Anderson had a good look at it, but the defense for Team Flanagan was up to the challenge. Still trying to clear the zone. Finding the sledding tough uphill. They'll reverse it. Nice stick handling here. Back the other way as the buzzer sounds. Looked like she would have had a nice attempt there. Jenkins just ran out of time, Tom.
Yeah, she ran out of time, but you also have to look at how much time was on the clock and maybe how many players knew that on the defensive side. Just kind of stopped. So, but they're not shy about shooting the puck in this game, or I mean, this is an interesting game, and I guess they will be putting on a
Yeah, they're going to put a new
ice.
sheet on. Zamboni will come on, and the players will head to the locker room today. 13 minutes on the clock. Nice shout out from Peter Mundy, the Hockey East and Boston marathon voice that you hear. And nice of him to give Nashua TV a shout out. Tim Diesel O'Neill on the moving pictures. DJ Pete Johnson is our executive producer.
And let's take a break, and we'll be back with the third period. Right after this, you're watching the New Hampshire High School Girls Invitational Hockey game here, freshman-sophomore game at Tri-Town Arena in Hooksett.
What can she get out of a box of cookies? New perspectives. Amazing adventures. Self-expression. A better world. Experiences and friendships to last a lifetime. She sees herself in Girl Scouts. You can too. Big fun, new friends. Be a Girl Scout.
And welcome back, everybody. Third period action here. Jason Roby, Tom King, Nashua ETV. It is game 1 of 2 between Team Flanagan in the white and Team King in the red. It's been 2 frenetic periods thus far. Fresh sheet of ice.
I'll be interested to see the speed in this third period because of that fresh sheet.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a lot of skill, Tom, here in the 2 games. We didn't get to talk much about it in the second period as we were doing the interview. Nice enough to join us was Dan McGee, the head coach of Lebanon, Mascoma, and Kearsarge. But a 5-4 game, and Team King trying to get one more in the back of the net. They can't do it. Back the other way.
Now think about this, Jason.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's up there at Lebanon, right?
Way up.
Right, way up.
Nice save there.
But just down the road from Hanover, right next door to Hanover.
Yeah, and the perennial champion.
And
right,
what's the difference? How is there such a major difference between the two towns? You know, I mean that amazes me. I mean, they're right there, and you know, Hanover's just been so dominant. What is holding Lebanon back? I don't understand it.
That's a great question, Tom. One.
I only ask great questions.
Yeah.
That's. You know,
I thought maybe you had the answer. You wanted to look.
No,
you wanted to be smart.
I don't know it. I mean, it amazes me. You know, because I've covered some of the Lebanon games. You know, years. Not so much recently. They're good teams. They're competitive teams.
Sure.
But Hanover's at a different level.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me. I don't. It's too bad because that would be a major
Great rivalry between those two.
Right.
I'm sure there are a lot of factors, Tom. It could come down to the feeder programs. It could be, you know, the coaching staffs. Are they in?
Well, John Dodds has been the head coach for the Hanover girls program, I think, since its inception.
So
he's a very good. I mean, he's a great coach. I mean, great guy and a great coach. I mean, he's always, you know, great to talk to after games and everything else.
Team King forcing the issue here, a 1-on-5 situation, and Team Flanagan trying to clear the zone behind the net, up the left side of the boards, losing the handle, stolen there by LeBreton. And I talked to her dad in between periods here. I went to high school with Shane LeBreton at Bishop Brady High School. Back the other way comes Team Flanagan.
Ooh, both go down.
Hitting the ice hard and reversing the action is Mosley. Down into the right corner it goes, behind the net. That was Souza trying to keep control of it.
This is such a drastic change watching this level of girls hockey compared to some of the high school games I've seen. Not to knock the high school games, they've been decent games, but this is a whole different level of what skill that these kids have.
Well, and Coach McGee said it too. You want to get kids out there that have a skill set, not just, I think I want to try hockey. You really can't just do that.
Watch that
Wrister.
shot. Oh, surprise. I thought that was going to be upper corner.
It was destined for upper corner, maybe getting a stick shaft on it. It was a good look from Brooke Fallon. Flanagan trying to clear the zone. They can't do it.
Now, it's not like Hanover is beating everybody 8-0. They're not. I mean, they used to be. St. Thomas Oyster River's got a great girls hockey program.
Offside's called here. We'll come back for a face-off out of the zone.
I believe St. Thomas co-ops with either Portsmouth or Winnicott. Great and contending team. So it's just always. But Hanover and Bishop Curtin had the 1 year where they were really 2 or 3 years where they were a thorn in Hanover's side a lot, and vice versa. But just don't want to see one program dominate that sport. Otherwise, you'll never get
good
kids
stick
to go
handling
out.
by Fallon.
Up over the net. I think that went
put
high.
she put on the afterburners there. Good stick handling. Couldn't put it in the back of the net. And I think that was Roy maybe. Thought it was Fallon. It looked like it was Addison Roy. It was either Fallon or Roy.
Went high. Shot went high.
Zone is cleared. They'll have to reset the scene. They'll just dump it and we'll get a change.
Now, we got a 5-4 game here.
This has been a great hockey game.
It's anybody's.
Fast
Look at
moving,
this.
stolen on the doorstep, going to the forehand, stonewalled at the gate.
Gotta
Wrap
shoot
it around the far side.
Got to shoot the puck there immediately. You get the steal. The goalie's not quite ready for it. One time it. Get that puck right on net. Don't try to stick handle and make it look pretty. Put the puck right on the net.
Another opportunity spilled in front of the net. No call. May have got on her side of her edge and taken herself down. Again on the doorstep, kicked away. Rebound, no. Fanned. And trying to clear the zone once again is Kelsey Corshange. They can't do it. Still in the zone. And now zone finally cleared in neutral ice. Battled for in front of the Team Flanagan bench. Back the other way. We'll recycle and reset the scene. This is Jenkins. Jenkins got it in. In front of the goalie. They're poking at it. A lot of bodies. And the ring ding comes out towards the blue line. Cleared back in. Demain wraps it around. Nobody there at the point. Team Flanagan will have to chase it and reset. We'll get a change. Partial change for Team King.
It's an all-star game, right? So sometimes you're worried there's not going to be any defense, but there's no checking in this game allowed in these games anyway in girls hockey. So you're going to get everybody's best effort offensively, and there's a lot of deep penetration. Here's another one.
Breakaway high wrister, rebound gathered in and is covered up.
There's a lot of deep penetration by the offenses on both teams. They're getting right in front of the goaltenders. There's not a lot of shots from inside the blue line. They're skating it right in.
Well, remember too, Tom, these kids really, they know each other. They know of each other. I'm sure they skate as the puck tied up there right in front of the net, but these kids don't practice together a lot. And
right.
So, in terms of your line changes, in terms of your transition, really haven't noticed a lot of issues with getting on and off the ice. You would think there might be more breakaways because of the the lack of practicing with one another, how
Well,
the changes
there've
occur.
been a few, there've been a few, but there's always the defensemen able to get back. That's the thing. They may trail.
Oh,
watch
nice
this.
move there.
They may trail by a skate, a stride, but they get back.
That was Kaylee Norton. She was checked off the puck, but she had something dialed in. Zone is cleared. And back the other way comes Team Flanagan. And now a chance for a one-on-one, potential two-on-one. Wrister saved, covered up there.
She did a good
and
job.
It went off of her. She looked behind her. They're going to say no, she did cover it up.
She did a good job to get the shot off.
That was Jordan Plummer. She took it off it looked like the left glove, and it kind of went down around her pad. She looked behind her, and she had enough of it to blow it dead. Face-off one there, another opportunity for Team King in front of the net. They battled for in the corner. It'll wrap around. Back the other way comes Team Flanagan. Center ice now, gathered in there. That was Finley Dunn. And she'll reset the scene in her own zone. Nice pass across the way. Just beyond the stick of Addison Roy. Team Flanagan will reset. No, another steal by Team King. And they just follow it up in waves. Staying on the backhand. That was Fallon. Fallon back over to Davidson. Davidson loses it, and now a potential breakaway here. One-on-one, trailing defender.
See, look, they got right back. That's what's happening. The speed is such that you can catch up.
The zone is kept, and a near breakaway. The play is on sides. Wrister taken off the body. A good block there by Team King. Davidson back the other way. Puts on the brakes. And that was McLean with the block defensively. She took it up around the left shoulder, that wrister. Change now for Team Flanagan. Partial change, wrapped around the boards. One-handed, tried to clear the zone, couldn't do it, and Team King keeps the zone.
If Fallon had just been able to intercept that pass, she was off to the races, and no one was going to be near her in that one.
That one taken high off the shoulder pad. Battled for in the left corner, trying to wrap it around the boards. This is McGee, the wrister, kick save. And that rebound was anyone's for the taking. Team King fortunate to come away with it. Deep into the zone. To the left of the face-off circle it comes. Battling for it. They clear the zone finally, 1-on-2. We'll see how this one is played. Another wrister gathered in there, and a whistle. A lot of wrist shots, Tom. A lot of wristers from both of these teams.
Well, they're getting in closer, that's why. So these are elite offensive players.
Face-off taken from the right circle. One there by Team King. Behind the net it comes. Wrapped around the boards. Taken there. Oh, spilled. No call. May have tripped over her own edge. 2-on-2 opportunity. Play is on sides. And covered up there by the goaltender. Nice job as barreling down quickly. Appeared to be number 87, Kylie Livingstone. So they'll take the face-off to the left-hand circle. 4:43 to go in this one. 5-4. Team King is on top.
Yeah, trying to nurse and hold on to that lead with under 5 to play. A little bit of drama going on here.
That's good. That's good hockey. Behind the net it comes. They'll reverse it, but Team Flanagan able to keep the zone. Now poke checked out. Kavanaugh able to poke it deep. Team King will chase it. The far end of the rink. Back around it comes. And don't think we'll have a
No
call
icing.
here. We do not.
Yep.
Tied up there behind the net. We'll check a little how you doing there. And
So let's see. We've had only
Norton.
one penalty called in this
one
game,
penalty thus far.
and it led to a goal on the jailbreak.
Well, a lot of times too, Tom, you see penalties potentially when there's sloppy play. We have not seen a
No.
lot of sloppy play out. It is a very
You
skilled
see
individual.
penalties when the team is a step behind. There's look at
A
that.
wrister.
Turnover and a goal.
Yeah, turnovers will kill you. And that one went top shelf glove side, I believe.
It did.
So 6-4, a little breathing room here for Team King as they have a 2-goal advantage with 3:39 left. And they get right back to it, Tom. I like that too. Not a lot of fanfare in between goals. They get right back into the action. Tar now, near side, gives it up. Now it's Brooke Fallon again on the goal. Far side now, good stick handling. Here comes Team King. 2-on-2 developing. Nice move. Nice
Oh.
pass on the backside and
Ho, ho, ho.
just beyond the blade. One-timer. That was a good look for Iris Lamaro.
It is amazing that they're able to do this, the passing, the whole bit, but without. You mentioned they haven't practiced a lot. They haven't practiced together at all. I don't think they get any advance time. You wouldn't know it, like you say, from watching the way the offenses are operating.
I just feel like, the game is in 2 years' time, Tom, I feel like this freshman-sophomore game is so much faster
Yep.
than it was in years past.
Turnover again. Let's see what they can do with it.
Those turnovers, Team King has been able to take advantage. Anytime Team Flanagan's given it up in the zone, they keep the zone.
Ooh, in
And
front.
right there, backhand. And a goal.
goal,
A
yep.
goal. And I believe that's going to come off the backhand of Brooke Nelson. She puts it in. She was right on the doorstep. It looked like, Tom, Jordan Plummer was in position, must have slid it in between the wickets.
Right between her pads.
So 7-4 now. And Team King has come storming back. It's going to make you feel pretty good, Tom.
It was a 3-1
Your
game.
namesake.
3-1 game. Yep. Oh, yeah, we're always late starters, that's the way we are. That's the way we Kings are. I got here late tonight. See,
There it is.
3-1 game. Flanagan was up, and then Team King put it together, outscoring them 6-1 since I got here.
You brought the mojo with you.
Yep.
7-4, 1:37 to go here in this one. Team Flanagan trailing by 3. It's been all that in a bag of chips as we've seen some great skill from both of these teams. We'll see even more in the nightcap. That was Lexi Morris kind of circling it up. Puck is just beyond the blue line. Back the other way comes Samantha Anderson. Puts it on net, looking for that back post feed. Couldn't quite get it there, but it was a good feed. And now we have
here's
a breakaway.
Here it is. Let's see.
Shot and a save. Wow. Went with the straight wrist shot there, did Liza Demain. And the ring ding found its way into the glove and a save.
Liza Demain out of Wolfboro. Long strides, gave her that edge away from the defense. She takes it all the way in, just not able to connect. And we're down to the final minute. 1 minute left to play in the period. 1 minute.
Team King, chance for one more rush. That was Norton down the right side, had it checked away from her. She still battles. The zone is kept. Nice job there by Rosalie Chartier. And again, they'll have to reset the scene so the play stays on sides.
Nice pass.
Nice move and a good clear. That was a great move there as we hit the final 10 seconds of this one. But Liza Demain had a chance for another one there.
And that'll do it.
Team King 7, Team Flanagan 4. It was, as Tom mentioned, a 3-1 advantage the other way, and then a quick shift, and Team King made the comeback for the 7-4 win, as both teams will meet at center ice for the post-game handshake we did.
Well, they'll not only do that, they'll have the post-game handshake, but I'm pretty sure they'll do a combined team picture.
They did the photograph before the game time.
Before the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting, right?
Ah,
yeah. Listen,
right.
these guys are efficient. This is a well-oiled machine.
That's good.
John Good has worked out all of the kinks in this operation, and he's got this thing running smoothly. As I look back over my left shoulder, all of the items up for auction, up for bid over there on the left side, a couple of jerseys and a bunch of sports photographs. And both of these teams to be commended for a fantastic game here. Fast-moving, very skilled, and very entertaining for the fans here in attendance tonight at the Tri-Town Ice Arena. That will do it, Tom, for our first of 2 games. We're going to see the juniors and seniors in just a little bit. Team Mounsey versus Team Dunn. Your final thoughts on this one before we take it to break?
My final thoughts on this were, you saw one team all of a sudden click, and that's not easy to do. And it was a 3-1 game, and they just started to click offensively and did a job. They're going to announce a player of the game, I believe.
The team uniforms, by the way, for all 4 teams tonight are a Team USA hockey team in honor of the 4 Olympians. And
so, coaches, if you would step forward to present your awards.
We'll get the team awards.
They're going to give medals to everybody like they do at the state championships.
Please say congratulations.
Or MVP of each game.
MVP.
Liza Demain, she had a heck of a game, number 12 there, and she almost had another goal there, late bid.
We saw her right there with that steal in the breakaway, and she almost had another one after that.
Liza Demain, St. Paul's School.
Brooke Fallon.
Yeah,
and Brooke Fallon.
No doubt, the Bedford
no surprise
kid.
There.
Bedford kid.
Out of Bedford, but plays her hockey at Cushing Academy.
Yep.
Congratulations to those 2. Fantastic game.
Great job this year. We'll see you all next year. In just a few minutes, we will begin.
All right, well, that will do it for game 1 here from the Tri-Town Ice Arena. It was a 7-4 victory, Team King over Team Flanagan. I want to thank John Good for providing us some lunch here. Got some French fries to my left. We'll get to those in just a minute. For my partner, Tom King, our executive producer, DJ Pete Johnson, and the man on the moving pictures, as always, Tim Diesel O'Neill. My name is Jason Roby. I want to thank you all for joining us here. Hope you enjoyed game 1. Stay tuned for game 2. We'll be right back in just a little bit.